Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the I75 Minute Shakedown here on CRN Sports Network. Alongside me, I have the longtime voice of I75 Raceway, Mr. Brian Kyle. Brian, thank you for being with me tonight, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you having me on the show, and I look forward to doing this tonight. Look forward to doing it throughout the year. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it this year and get to learn a lot about our drivers, learn a lot about the race program, and hopefully get some more people interested in our sport, dirt track racing.
Absolutely, and that's what I do. That's why I do this. I seek no fame, no fortune, which I get neither from this. But I want to put the spotlight on our sport, the drivers, the fans, the crews. It's just a special sport, and we're all family. It's a small, interconnected family, and I just love it. And I'm excited to be with you, Brian. We had a great time last year working together, and wow, we're 3 shows into a delayed 2020 season, but what a great 3 shows we've had.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. You know, our stands, all 3 shows so far have been packed. Last night was certainly one of the largest crowds in the history of I-75 Raceway. And the tier parking, you know, it's been packed out all 3 nights. And that wasn't a parking spot left over there last night. And we've averaged well over 90 race cars on the 3 shows combined, you know, on average there. So just folks are ready to get out, and folks are ready to, you know, watch some sporting events, some live events, and dirt track racing is filling that void for folks right now. We're off to a great start in 2020.
Oh, absolutely. And I cannot thank the fans enough, and the drivers. You know, they have many options on Saturday night. They've got several racetracks in East Tennessee that they can go race, but they choose to come be with us at I-75, and same with the fans. And it was awesome being in the infield there last night, looking up at the crowd, and just it kind of gives me goosebumps. And speaking of goosebumps, that leads me into our first guest tonight. We've got a young man who is fixing to join us. Brian, what a story this gentleman is. He got his very first career victory, feature victory, last night at the I-75 in the B Hobby division. It's the number 9 hot rod of Mr. Spencer Cranfield. Spencer, thank you for being with us tonight, my friend.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Man, your first win. You know, sitting in the infield, I've got a pretty good view. You drove the fire out of that car last night, especially in the last few laps, and you brought her home. Tell us a little bit about what it feels like to get that first one under your belt.
I'll be honest, I didn't know if we was going to get it there for a little bit. I didn't think we had anything at all for Brady, but once that restart happened, he got out on us a little bit, but we was starting to reel him in slowly. I was trying to race him pretty clean, and then me, Cameron, and Brady all went through wide that last turn. And we ended up coming out with victory. It's really a dream come true.
That's awesome, Spencer. Brian, you have anything you'd like to ask?
I think I've talked to a lot of fans after the program last night, and we had 8 classes, and most of them you asked, you know, what was the best race of the night? B Hobby's the most common answer. And they were, as Spencer said a moment ago, him and Cameron Hawkins and Brady Lee were 3 wide for the better part of lap 13, especially in turns 3 and 4. And I think it was about as they took the white flag. They were entering the last lap is when Spencer took the lead, and he held on there for that last lap. He also, Sam Burgess is another one that was in the mix there. There was 4 drivers that had a legitimate shot at winning it. One of the best photos I've seen of the night was actually from the press box, and there was a crowd, Big Mike, Spencer, probably 30 or 40 people wearing their Spencer Cranfield Racing T-shirts, and all at the same time they jumped to the air. They're celebrating, having a good time at that, and that's just the raw emotion and family and friends. That's what our sport's all about. And there was a lot of support for Spencer in the stands last night. I think it made a lot of folks' evening when he took his first feature win last night.
Oh, absolutely. And, being employees of the facility, we kind of have to be non-partial, I guess. But, buddy, I was sure cheering for you under my breath. And I work with Spencer's uncle. And, what a story Spencer has. Just a few short years ago, we almost lost this young man. He went through a terrible, terrible issue. Ended up, which I don't know if you mind me talking about, Spencer, but
no, I don't mind.
Ended up having a brain tumor, having to have brain surgery, and has made a miraculous recovery. And now he has got his first career victory in the bee hobby. Spencer, you're a great young man, and tell us what it's been like the last few years fighting your way to victory lane.
I tell you, coming out of the hospital, it was a little rough, but God had me the whole way through. I got to give all the glory to Him.
Oh, absolutely.
We just I've always wanted to race ever since I was a little kid, and all that happened. I believe it was my dad told my mom if I pull through this, we're going to find a way to get me to the dirt track. So I always told him I could do it. It's just it was really a learning process for all of us because nobody in my family really has ever raced any type of cars or nothing. But we've got this thing tuned in right, and my dad and our mechanic we got working on it. Well, they got this thing set up perfect, and everything fell into place last night.
Boy, it did. And another. It's just everything about Spencer is kind of special. He got his first heat race win on his birthday a couple weeks ago, week before last. So. Spencer, we're proud of you, my friend. Brian, you have anything else before we wrap it up with Spencer Cranfield tonight?
I'll add just a little bit more, Mike, then we'll let Spencer go. I'm sure he's still celebrating. He's still
absolutely.
Family and friends. But I think it was 2017, right at 3 years ago, when he won the fight of his life, when he overcame the brain tumor. And then in 2018, it was just a little over a year after that, he was at I75 Raceway for the first time. And I went and talked to Spencer that night. I had heard his story from his mother. And I said, man, you're a winner. I said, let's go to Victory Lane and get your picture made. You won a big deal here by being here. That's a victory. And Spencer's like, no, we're not going to do that. He says, I want to get my picture made in Victory Lane eventually. But he said, but I want to earn my spot there. I don't want to just to do it,
Wow.
And that was the first thing I thought of last night when he took the checker flag. And it was just, man, what a night. What an amazing evening at the I-75. And everything that Spencer's battled, that he's overcame, and to be where he was at last night. Just Spencer, congratulations. We're all proud of you. You drove a heck of a race. Big Mike, you were busy on the infield, but one of his competitors that he passed about halfway through the race was one of the first people to arrive at Victory Lane, and shook his hand and told him, great job, man. I'm proud of you. So we'll give a little bit of credit to Sam Burgess. He's a class act off the racetrack as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a great thing about our sport. Most everybody, they're great friends in the pits. They might bang and beat and battle out on the track, but when they come off, they show respect for each other. And Spencer, God bless you. Congratulations, my friend. I'm hoping to see you visit that victory lane several more times very soon, my friend.
I appreciate it. I hope the same thing.
Spencer, thank you for coming on. That's the driver of the number 9 hot rod, B Hobby, Spencer Cranfield. Thank you for spending some time with us tonight, Spencer.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. Have a good night.
You too, my friend. Brian, what a special young man, and what a great story.
He is, Mike. I tell you, you can't help but be proud of him for his story and for winning the race last night. Young man's going places in life. He's got a lot going for him on the track and off the track. Just a class act, a ton of character. You know, that's more important, I think, than the talent he has on the track is the character and what he stands for.
Oh, absolutely, and he is a man of faith, and he's not afraid to tell you about it, and that's just another star in his crown. So very proud of Spencer Cranfield. All right, guys, if you'll hang tight with us just for a few minutes, we'll have our next guest on very shortly. This is Big Mike Garren and Brian Kyle with the I75 Minute Shakedown.
Hey, this is Trace Nye with CRN. Hey, I wanted to give you an update about Unforgettables.com. Again, that's Unforgettables.com. They are offering a special Father's Day weekend special. If you go to their website at Unforgettables.com, type in the code CRN20. Again, that's CRN20. With that code, you'll receive a 10% off your entire order. Again, CRN20. All you got to do is go to Unforgettables.com. They specialize in hand-painted baseballs and baseball gifts. So once again, head over to Unforgettables.com. For Father's Day, type in CRN20 and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. Again, that's Unforgettables.com.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Okay, Brian Kyle, we've got our second guest joining us tonight. Another fan favorite there at the I75 Raceway. This gentleman happened to be the points winner of 2019 in the Thunder Series. He drives a Black 31 hot rod. We have none other than Terry Bunkin Wyatt. Bunkin, welcome to the show with us tonight.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Brian Bunkin, like I said, he captured the points championship last year, had a phenomenal win, won like, I think he said 6 or 7 in a row. Then a little bad luck hit him, but he's in race number 3 here in 2020. He got her straightened out and run a heck of a race, Brian.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Mike. And our Thunder division, since the track opened, has been one of the most competitive divisions that we've had. A lot of competition each year in that. And for one driver to win, 6 or 7 straight races last season is just unheard of, unthinkable. We have a competition rule in effect at I-75 Raceway. And after you win 3 straight, you can start no better than 6th. And then, as long as that streak continues, they keep moving you back a spot. So Terry was consistently starting on the rear of the field, and still made his way to Jackie Jones Ford Lincoln Victory Lane. And that's where he ended the evening at last night. A pretty wild Thunder race last night, but when the dust settled, when it was all concluded, Terry Wyatt found himself in a very familiar place, Victory Lane at the I-75.
Bunkin, how I know you had some bad luck last week. Tell me a little bit about any adjustments or track conditions that you got. What helped you out? What helped you get to the front this week?